teacher of 2008. And we're going to get serious once again and talk about racism, because everybody goes through racism. I want to see if anybody in the crowd has anything to say on racism before I get into what I have to say. Anybody? Anybody? Has anybody experienced racism? Racism? Anybody? Anybody feel that racism still exists? Nobody wants to come up here. All right, everybody come up here that has something to say about racism. Papa Gemini. How you doing?
I'm doing.
All right, so the question is, have you experienced racism? And if so, how did it make you feel?
Yes, I have. I guess since I am probably the elder in the group, I can say that back in the 60s, I experienced firsthand having to go to the back of a restaurant. There was a big sign on the front saying white only. And I had the actual experience of having to go to the back of the restaurant. And it was quite demeaning as a little boy for me to have to see these white people walking in the front getting service, and I have to go to the back. So I got to say that we really should be proud of the progress that we've made, but it's not over, and we can't get complacent. So I like to see the young kids get a little bit more involved, start doing some of the things that I'm seeing you do today, and these are the ways that we can overcome. But the number one way to overcome is to get your education. Once you got it in your head, it can't be taken away from you.
Okay, so all right, so you say you was born in the 60s and all that. So how have you seen times change since the 60s to now?
Well, I've seen us having to go to the back of the restaurant to owning the restaurant. And on top of that, we've got Barack Obama as the Democratic nominee for president.
Obama in '08.
So yes, I've seen a lot of change, but we shouldn't get complacent. We still got a lot of work to do.
Okay, so can I get you to stand right here and do the Black Power? Black Power. Anybody else? Daniel? Anybody else? Wife? Somebody? So, same question. Have you experienced racism, and if so, how did it make you feel?
Absolutely, I've experienced racism, and this has been recently because I think this campaign with Barack Obama has brought a lot of racism back to the surface that was hidden well in America. Kanye says racism is still alive, they just be concealing it. And you saw that here in the election. People ask you, are you voting for Barack Obama just because he's black? But no one asked white people if they're voting for McCain because he's white. That's racism. So it's hidden, it's very subtle now. It's not the same, but it's still there.
I agree with you. I do. So, how do you feel the times has changed since you were little to now?
It's definitely changed. It's great to see black people, and not only black people, I would say people of color, because I think there are all type of brown, yellow, red people in America that are doing things now that they weren't able to do when I was a child back in the 60s and early 70s. But it gives me hope that I can go out and do these things because seeing other people do it inspires me. It says, okay, you know what, Daniel, you don't have to be stuck working for someone else. You can see people like Africa Allah doing their own business. Hey, you know what? You can do yours too. So it gives you hope, it gives you inspiration. Now I can literally tell my son that he can be the president of the United States. And nobody told me that when I was a kid.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Daniel. That was very beautiful. Daniel's wife. Well, I'm going to tell you about my run-in with racism. And it was me, Africa Allah, no title BB. We were all in the car driving, minding our own business. In Conyers, everybody know where Conyers is. And we were just stopped for no apparent reason. Just whoop, whoop, stop your car, get out. And they searched us, searched everybody, put us on the corner, had us feeling real degraded. And they searched the car. and found nothing, but they felt that they needed to search because we were black. They said it was because of the tail light, but the tail light was working. So they say they found marijuana in the ashtray. It was really tobacco, which is legal in America. And he tried to convince the other officer that it was marijuana because we were black. So I mean, it made me feel real bad. You know, I can't tell no experiences from when I was little up because I was born in the 90s. I'm not that old. So I do know some of the stories about getting hosed and all that, and the dog sicked on you. So I can say it has been a change from reading the books and stuff, but that situation right there opened my eyes that there is racism in America.